Hello everyone. Back in the day, back in the 90s, it seemed that companies that you would never really associate with computers were putting out, PC lines of, IBM PC compatibles, if they even had anything remotely to do with electronics. And this is one of those machines that I stumbled upon in a thrift store a while ago. This machine, it's a 486, and it is from Canon, who's, better known for their photography, technology, cameras, and things like that. This is from their Innova line, the 486E. So this is a 486 machine from Canon. I kind of quite like this one. Kind of small, plastic case, mid 90s kind of machine. We got reset button there. And we have, standard power lights, hard drive activity. It does have a turbo function. That's the turbo light. Although there's no turbo button on this case. You activate the turbo button by Control Alt and plus, and you do that Control Alt plus again to turn it on and off. And the turbo light indicates whether the turbo function is on or off. You probably can't see it from this angle, but there's a nice kind of like curvature to this case. It's simple, but it's it adds a slight bit of, I don't know, elegance. Makes the case a little interesting. It's very slight, but there's a curve there. Here we have the power button. This is a hard drive caddy. I added this before it was just a blank faceplate, so I added this. This is the CD-ROM drive, and then we have a 1.44 megabyte floppy drive sort of in this vertical sort of positioning here. So this machine actually still had the sticker on it, which I always think is kind of cool. High performance 46SX, 33 megahertz speed. So this is the original stock specs. I think I upgraded it a little bit. I haven't messed with this machine in a while. It had a 210 megabyte hard drive, 4 megabytes of RAM. Speed. The graphics chip that's built into it is indeed on the VLB or local video bus. So that's pretty cool. It's sometimes sometimes those are on like the ISA bus or whatever. No, this one is on the built-in local bus. Ready for Intel Overdrive if you want to throw one of those in. It was preloaded with DOS, Windows, plug and play, mouse and pad included. 1 year on-site warranty. I'm sure that's not good anymore. It does have it has a screwless case design. So it's kind of Macintoshy in that respect. Let's take a look at the back. Whoop. Not too much going on here. PS2 ports, which is always, well, it's pretty standard on OEM machines, but it's nice on 486 and earliers. 2 serial ports, printer port, VGA port for the built-in video. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 expansion ports. This machine did not come with sound. I added a sound card, just a sound blaster. So let's take a look inside this thing. Okay, so underneath it, there's these things, and you press down on them. It's a little hard to do with one hand. And what these do is, it will make the front faceplate kind of detach. And we do it with this one. Okay, hold on, I don't want to break it. Okay, so that's the faceplate. Basically, it just detaches when you press down on those and pull up. So here's the machine without the faceplate. And you'll notice there's these things here that says unlock. So you want to kind of pull them back and then pull back the case. Again, it's really hard to do one-handed, so. Okay, so once you've done that and you've kind of got them off those tabs, you just push it back a little and then lift it up. And now we're inside. Okay, so here we are inside the case. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4 16-bit ISA slots here. And here we have the motherboard itself. Now there's where the CPU goes, which I apparently stuck on a giant black heatsink. I don't even remember doing that, but it's on there pretty good. So yeah, that's our CPU. Now back there, you can't really completely see it because it's under these drive bays. This is your L2 cache. And this machine can take up to 256 KB, which is pretty standard for the time. And that's what I actually have installed in there right now. But it will also take 64 and 128 if you wanted. But I have the full 256. An Ali chipset. Here's the RAM. It's 72 pin, and then you kind of insert it at that weird angle. I don't know what the max RAM this machine can take is because I haven't played around with it much. I'm guessing 32 megabytes, maybe 64 megabytes. But yeah, that's our RAM right there. Here's our video chip, which is a Cirrus Logic. Let me focus. It's upside down anyways. GD5428 Cirrus Logic video chip. This is on the local bus, so it's a bit faster. It comes with 512 kilobytes of VRAM built in, but right here, as I did, you can add another 512 to give it a full 1 megabyte of video RAM. There's also these curious little slots right here that look like they may be for an alternate type of video RAM, but I am not 100% sure. But that's kind of what it looks like. VGA feature connector right there. I mean, it's a pretty standard motherboard, but it is nice. So, yeah, that's the inside of this thing. Nothing much going on over there. So let me hook it up and just... I haven't actually powered this machine up for a while, so let's just power it up and see if it still powers up. Okay. So here it is, kind of hastily set up on the floor with my test monitor. It's not really a monitor or a TV, it's like anyways, that's another story. This thing is like a kitchen recipe thing, but it has all kind of connections on the back, so although it doesn't work so well sometimes. So let's see. Here's power. Set to PC, okay. That's good. It's all good. No signal, there we go. Uh, 33 megahertz CPU, although the centering's off. And let's see, one looks good. It's F1 to continue. Insert system diskette or press enter key to reboot. Well, the CMOS battery is likely dead, so I have to reset the settings for the hard drive in BIOS. You know, what the heck, while I'm in BIOS, this is the BIOS. Obviously, it's not really standard what we're used to seeing. It's like an OEM thing. System configuration. Following it depends on seat, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, fairly simple BIOS here. There's no fixed disk that it's seeing. Alright. What's cool is there actually is a auto detect for the IDE, parameters for the IDE if you hit F8, which is kind of nice. So let's see if it works now that I've set everything up in the BIOS. Okay, yes, here we go. So we're going into DOS. Although I don't really have much to show on this thing. Guys! Oh, those dogs. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, this is the Canon Innova 486E. I quite like... What are you doing over there? God. Alright, anyways. This is the Canon Innova 486E. I quite like this computer. I mean, for an OEM, it's reasonably upgradable. You can even throw in a Pentium overdrive, according to these, advertising thing. But I'm sure you could at least put in like an AMD 133 5x86 without any trouble at all. pretty good L2 cache upgradable. The onboard video is on the local bus, which is nice. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Even the screwless design, which I'm usually not a fan of computers that use screwless designs, Macintosh, but this kind of does it right, because this plastic is actually not disgusting and brittle. So it actually kind of works. Now give it another 15, 20 years, maybe this plastic will become horribly brittle, like most of the 90s Macs that I've come across. But thus far, it's actually not bad. So it actually kind of holds up. So yeah, I like this computer. This monitor not so much, but I do like this computer. So yeah, if you come across one of these Canon 486s, that's a pretty good OEM machine. Pick one up. Thanks for watching. And just to confirm, here's SpeedSys running, and yes, I do have a 46DX, 33 megahertz, but it's 34 here. I've got 12 megabytes of RAM in there, and yeah, there's the Cirrus Logic card on the local bus with 1 megabyte of video memory, and like a 888 megabyte hard drive. So yes.